Most insurance agents explain coverage, but the agents who grow, they tell stories. Because here's the truth, most marketing vendors actually miss. People don't actually buy insurance because they understand policies. They buy insurance because they feel the risk of being unprotected. You see, a homeowner who has seen storm damage, a retiree who worries about medical costs, a parent thinking about what would happen if something went wrong. Insurance decisions are emotional long before they ever are logical. That's why storytelling has become one of the most powerful tools in modern insurance marketing. And when you use it correctly, storytelling transforms complicated policies into real-life situations where prospects understand instantly, and it positions you as the trusted advisor who can guide them. So in today's episode, I'm going to help you explore how you as an insurance agent can use storytelling to build trust, create emotional connection with your prospects, and stand out in an increasingly competitive digital marketplace. Here's why storytelling matters in your marketing. Because insurance products are complex by nature, and they are getting more complicated by the day. Deductibles, exclusions, riders, underwriting guidelines, and policy structures can quickly overwhelm the average consumer. And clients are rarely buying insurance because they enjoy reading those documents. Let's be honest. They buy insurance because they want to protect their family, their finances, and their future. They do not like the feeling of being vulnerable. And what storytelling does is it bridges the gap between complex insurance policies and their real life understanding. So instead of explaining coverage features, storytelling demonstrates how insurance works in real life situations. For example, a family who is rebuilding after storm damage, or a retiree who is avoiding unexpected healthcare costs, or a homeowner who is recovering from a major catastrophic loss. You see, stories translate technical concepts into human outcomes. And that's exactly what clients remember. Storytelling is going to help you create an emotional connection with your prospect, because human beings are actually wired to remember stories. If you think about it, traditionally, human beings have passed along information through storytelling generation after generation, century after century. That is the way information has been passed on throughout history. We actually process narratives more easily than statistics, and we recall those far longer than lists of facts. And for an insurance agent, storytelling creates three distinct advantages. Stories simplify complex topics. That makes insurance coverage easier to understand because it's explained through real-life situations rather than technical language. Stories build trust. So when prospects see how an agent helped someone in a similar situation, credibility increases immediately. And stories are memorable. Facts are very easily forgotten within minutes, but stories are actually remembered for years. The most effective insurance stories are going to follow this simple structure. Number one, there's going to be a real-world risk or challenge, something that's easy to remember, easy to relate to. Then there's the discovery of an insurance solution to meet that risk or challenge. And then you'll talk about the protection that that policy provides, and you'll end up with the positive outcome to reinforce the value of the coverage. And when you frame it this way, the insurance product becomes the solution to that real-world problem rather than a product to be sold. Now, there are different types of stories that work best in insurance marketing because not all stories serve the same purpose. Different types of stories help you as an agent build trust in different ways. There are real client stories, and those are client experiences that are generally some of the most powerful stories you can tell, because these stories show how coverage helped actual clients navigate difficult situations like property damage, medical expenses, accidents, and financial loss. And remember this: authenticity builds credibility faster than any advertisement you could ever run. Then there are the risk awareness stories. Risk-focused stories will help prospects understand the consequences of being underinsured or uninsured, because these stories explore what might happen in realistic scenarios, and that helps prospects recognize the value of coverage before a crisis actually occurs. And then you have expert stories, where an agent can share personal experiences from their professional careers and experience. And these are stories about helping clients navigate difficult claims or complex coverage decisions. And what this does is it positions you, the agent, as a trusted advisor rather than a salesperson. And then don't forget those what-if stories, because these are educational in nature. These scenarios answer the common client questions that you get presented with. What happens if a homeowner experiences storm damage? What happens if a driver is involved in an uninsured accident? What happens if someone misses a Medicare enrollment deadline? You see, these stories educate prospects while demonstrating the agent's expertise. Now, let's talk about where storytelling fits in to your insurance marketing strategy. Storytelling works across nearly every digital marketing channel. And here are some effective places that you might want to use storytelling. On your insurance agency website, in your blog articles, in your social media posts, in your email newsletters, in your video marketing, in client testimonials, in your advertising campaigns. When storytelling gets used effectively and consistently across all channels, what it does is it creates a unified brand message that builds trust and authority across your entire marketing ecosystem. Now, I want to give you some best practices that you can utilize, because we want to maximize your results, and to do that, there are some principles you're going to want to follow. First of all, remember your client is always tuned into radio station WIIFM. What's in it for me? So focus on the client, not the policy. Many marketing campaigns fail because they focus on the policy, not the person. The client and not the coverage should always be the hero in the story. Keep the story simple and relatable. The best stories are always short, they're always clear, and they're always easy to understand. So be sure to avoid complicated insurance language whenever possible. Remember the KISS principle: keep it simple, stupid. Or keep it simple, Sam. Use visual content. Images and videos dramatically increase engagement, and they help prospects visualize real-life situations. Highlight authentic experiences. Whenever possible, share real stories from clients. You can keep the names confidential, but share those real-life situations you've encountered. Because authenticity builds credibility faster than any polished marketing copy ever will. And as always, there's some mistakes you're going to want to avoid also. Storytelling can be effective, but you need to do it correctly. So don't turn stories into sales pitches. Stories need to educate and build trust. They shouldn't feel like advertisements. They should just be natural. Just tell the story. Don't use unrealistic examples. They should feel authentic. They should feel relatable. And again, stay away from complex terminology. Keep the information simple. Don't make it confusing. And then don't forget the human element. At the end of the day, insurance is about people. It's not about policies. The human outcome should always be the focus of the story. Now we want to look ahead. We want to look down the road and talk about the future. Because storytelling is only going to grow as digital platforms evolve. There are several trends that we are seeing take shape in today's environment. First and foremost, and I can't emphasize this enough, is video-based storytelling, particularly short-form video and YouTube content. In fact, our last webinar was on this very topic, so be sure and check that out. I'll put a link in the description to this particular video. They are major trust-building channels for agents. Videos under 60 seconds in your YouTube channel are two of the biggest assets available to you. You want to personalize your storytelling. Tailor your marketing messages to specific client situations, and you'll find that that becomes very effective. And then don't forget interactive storytelling. Use your social media platforms where the audience can then engage with those stories, not just consume them. Insurance agents who embrace storytelling today are going to build stronger relationships with tomorrow's clients. And as we wrap up our conversation today, remember this: insurance ultimately is about protection, trust, and peace of mind. And so when you move beyond product explanations to those emotional experiences, you are translating abstract concepts into experiences that people understand and remember. And something powerful and magical happens when you do that. Trust increases, engagement improves, and conversations start to take place. And it's conversations where the new clients and the new relationships begin to form. If you're ready to strengthen your marketing strategy, if you want to attract more qualified leads, build trust with your prospects, and position your agency as the obvious choice in your market, then storytelling has to be a part of the larger ecosystem that you're building. At Agent Branding and Marketing, that's what we do. We specialize in helping insurance agents and agencies implement AI-driven marketing ecosystems that utilize SEO, content marketing, video, paid ads, and automation into one integrated strategy to help you dominate your market so that you are the only choice available to consumers in your niche and in your region. So to learn how we can do this for you, schedule your strategy session with us at agentbrandingandmarketing.com/schedule, or give us a call at 888-572-8758. We look forward to talking with you soon, and I look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Thanks for tuning in today.